Hey friends, happy Sunday and welcome back to another week of What's for Dinner. If you're new here, hello and welcome. I am Taylor. I'm a stay-at-home wife and mom, and I share What's for Dinner videos every Sunday. This week I made mostly really simple stuff. That's kind of the theme this week because it was all leading up to the big Thanksgiving dinner. I knew I would be prepping stuff beforehand and I wouldn't really want to or have the energy to cook dinners, so I just kept things really simple leading up to that and then ended the week with our Thanksgiving dinner. I hope that those of you that got together with family and celebrated Thanksgiving had a great day. And now let's go ahead and get into this week's What's for Dinner. Friday night we had a ham and potato soup. I make this in the crock pot. I actually made it for the first time last year and we loved it, and I've been wanting to have it again. So in my crock pot I am adding 3.5 cups of potatoes peeled and cubed up, 1/3 cup of celery chopped, 1/3 cup of onion finely chopped, and then some ham. My ham is still partially frozen, but this is about 1.5 cups to 2 cups of ham, which is more than the recipe calls for, but that's just what I had, so I used that much ham. And then I did 3¼ cups of water and enough chicken bouillon powder to equal 6 chicken bouillon cubes, which is 6 teaspoons. And then a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and then I stirred that all together, put a lid on this, and cooked it on low for 7 hours. At the end of that 7 hours, in a saucepan on the stove, you're going to want to melt 5 tablespoons of butter, and then once that's melted, add in 5 tablespoons of flour and just let that cook for about a minute. And then you can start adding in some milk. You're going to add in 2 cups of milk, whisking it to make sure there's no lumps, and then just keep cooking this over a medium heat until it starts to get thick. Once it has thickened up, then all you have to do is open up the crock pot, make sure that your potatoes are done, and then stir the milk mixture in, and then you can just let it sit for 15 to 20 more minutes, and then it's ready to serve. I like to top it with some bacon bits and cheddar cheese and green onion. The kids just did cheese and bacon. Andy didn't even want bacon. He said he was fine with just the ham, but it was a loaded baked potato soup basically, but with the addition of ham, and it is delicious. We love this and I will continue making it. Saturday night we just did spaghetti, regular old spaghetti noodles, the marinara from Aldi, that's our favorite, some ground beef, Parmesan cheese on top, and some frozen garlic bread, a super simple staple. Sunday night we did Aldi red bag chicken sandwiches. If you don't know, they have this chicken in the freezer. It's in a red bag and it has its own whole Facebook group, but it tastes like Chick-fil-A, and you serve it on the brioche buns. You can add a pickle, whatever you like. I did some of the chicken dipping sauce from Walmart, and the chicken dipping sauce basically tastes like Chick-fil-A sauce. So we had some fries as well, and then broccoli, and Lily had tomatoes, and that was our simple dinner for Sunday. Monday night we had crockpot Swedish meatballs. These are really easy and delicious. So in my crock pot, I just add some meatballs to cover the bottom of the pot. I don't have exact measurements because I buy the big 6-pound bag of Italian beef meatballs at Sam's Club. And even though they're Italian flavored, they still go really well with this. I've made it with it many times. And then I add in 14 ounces of beef broth, 1 can of cream of chicken soup because I don't like cream of mushroom, but if you like cream of mushroom, you can use that instead. 1 packet of Lipton onion soup mix, 2 tablespoons of steak sauce, and then I have this Campbell's Flavor Up from Dollar Tree that is the mushroom flavor, and because I don't add in the mushroom soup, I like to add that in to give it some mushroom flavor. I just cannot do the little tiny mushrooms in cream of mushroom soup. It grosses me out. So then I put a lid on this and covered it and cooked it on low for about 6 to 8 hours. I think for me it was about 6. And then you just want to go in and stir in about a cup of sour cream. I stir that in, and then I put a lid on this and just let it sit until I get my egg noodles cooked. And then you just serve this on top of some egg noodles. I had some lingonberry jam or jelly. I don't remember what it is, but the lingonberry stuff from IKEA that they serve with their Swedish meatballs. And so I had that on the side of mine. I wish it would have been mashed potatoes instead of egg noodles, but my family prefers egg noodles instead of mashed potatoes. But I love me some potatoes. Tuesday night we had this cheesy sausage and rice. I have made this before, but I made a little bit of like a change this time. Not too big, but just a little change. All of the measurements for this will be listed out down below. It is a recipe that I found on TikTok, so I will leave that down below as well. I'm starting off here with just some sausage, and I started browning it up and then decided to go ahead and throw in the onion and pepper as well. In the original recipe, you're supposed to brown up the sausage, take it out, and then add the onion and pepper. And I was not about that life this time. So I just put it all in there together, sauteed it for a few minutes until the onions started to get tender. And then I added in some frozen minced garlic and some Tony's Creole seasoning and just cooked that up until that frozen garlic thawed out and cooked up a little bit. And then I'm going to add in, I think it's a cup of instant rice. Instant is key because this isn't going to take very long to cook. And then I'm also going to add in some water, and I'm going to add in some Knorr chicken bouillon to turn that water into broth. And then I'm going to do 1 can of cream of chicken soup. Last time I did 2 cans. Every time that I've made this, I've done 2 cans. But this time making it, I was like, I want it creamy, but I don't think I want it as creamy. So I left out one of the cans, and it still turned out great. Next, I'm going to add in some cheddar cheese, and then I'm going to pop a lid on this and let it cook for about 10 to 15 minutes until that liquid is absorbed and the rice is tender. You leave it over like a medium to medium low heat with the lid on. You can stir it every once in a while, make sure it doesn't burn. I stirred it about halfway through, and then it took about 15 minutes for me to get all that liquid absorbed and the rice tender. And then you can top it with some more cheese, and really that's it. It's super easy, and it's cheesy and creamy and delicious, and it was a good meal. You could serve it with some green beans or something on the side, but I wasn't feeling like it this night, so this was all we had. Wednesday we had nachos, specifically chili nachos. So I took 2 bags of chili from the freezer and let that thaw out, and then heated it up on the stove. And then 1 bag of the Rico's nacho cheese out of the freezer. Again, let it thaw out and then heated it up on the stove. And then we just eat that with the scoop chips and then some extra shredded cheese on top and some sour cream. And it's one of our favorite ways to eat leftover chili, and it was a quick and simple dinner for the day before Thanksgiving because I was prepping other food this day. And finally, Thursday was Thanksgiving. This was basically our lunch / appetizers. We've got a little veggie plate, some meat and cheese and crackers and shrimp cocktail, and then dinner. This was one of the turkeys. This was the Creole butter and Tony's Creole seasoning deep fried turkey that my brother did. We had mashed potatoes and stuffing. We had a corn casserole that I tried from TikTok. It was delicious. Mac and cheese was great. Broccoli casserole, a green bean casserole, and then glazed carrots. We had ham and gravy and cranberry sauce and deviled eggs and rolls. And then you can see what was left over of the appetizers. We ate those for like lunch, and then people were snacking on them as they got here. We didn't have like a bunch of people here. It was Andy and me and the kids, my uncle and my brother and his wife Riley, and then we had my sister and her boyfriend Troy on like FaceTime because they couldn't be here. They live in Florida. And yeah, we got a cute picture of all of us, me holding up the iPad with them. And that was literally the only picture that I took. I did not take any pictures of any plates of food. I was just enjoying cooking and being with my family for Thanksgiving. But that is going to be it for this week's What's for Dinner. I hope that y'all enjoyed it. I hope that y'all have had a great week and a great weekend. And I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.